Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for watching. This is Traveling in Isolation, and what I plan on doing is putting together a series of videos. Each video will discuss a different area around the world, usually a city, it could be a region, it could be a chain of islands, something like that. And I plan on just virtually visiting it with the resources and tools we have available on the internet, because we're all trapped in our houses, we can't go anywhere. I personally live in the United States. I'm sure you can tell by my accent, and we can't leave the country. I think maybe we can, but we're being strongly advised to not do so. They're trying to bring everybody back home just to keep us home and safe and healthy and trying to get through this coronavirus pandemic that we're dealing with. So I thought to use the internet as a way to travel and see new things and learn some new things. So the place that I picked for this one is the Seychelles Islands. And I will go ahead and get started here by just bringing up Google Chrome, and I have some resources laid out here that I plan on using for this, and I'll just go straight to number one. I have it labeled here. Actually, where did it go? Oh, here we go. It's on the other end. So I'm just going to first show you where the Seychelles Islands are located. Let me zoom out here first and just show you where in the world it is. Oh man, it's loading slow. I hope it doesn't do this. I plan on using Google Earth, and I think my computer is fast enough to handle it, but it's kind of an old computer, so hopefully it works. But this is the Seychelles Islands in relation to where you might be in the world. And if you actually live there in the Seychelles, then I definitely envy you, because I've always wanted to visit this place, and I've never had a chance to go. Living in Tampa, Florida, well, Tampa Bay, I don't live in Tampa, but I live in the St. Petersburg area. It's pretty expensive to get out there, so it's kind of one of my bucket list items to visit. That's why I picked this as my first video, my first location to visit. So that's where it is, and it actually comprises a bunch of islands. It's over 100 islands, from what I understand. So now that you have an idea as to where it's located, and technically it's a part of Africa, so it's an African nation, which obviously it's close to Africa, so that does make sense. So I will go ahead and bring up the second item that I have up here, which I believe is the Wikipedia article. So pretty simple resources I'm going to be using, nothing earth-shattering, nothing too exclusive or anything like that, like nothing exclusive at all. I mean, what am I talking about? Like there's nothing exclusive that I'm using. But anyway, I did highlight some information. I'm just going to read the highlighted material. I mean, obviously you can go to Wikipedia, just type in Seychelles, and it'll bring up the exact same thing you're seeing right here. You can also listen to the national anthem here. There's the flag and the coat of arms. The motto is also listed on here, as well as its location and in relation to its parent continent. Let's see, the capital is Victoria, and this is its GPS coordinates. So if you wanted to plug that into your GPS device system, whatever you have, it'll take you right there. And the official languages are English and French. At some point, I believe it was owned by the French, and then it was later owned by the English. And not to get ahead of myself, but I think it was 1976 when they became an independent nation, which I believe, if my knowledge serves me correctly, let's see, it was India. It was India, I believe, got their independence in 1976. I could be wrong, it could be 73, but I think it was at least during the 1970s. So I'm not sure if there's any significance. If it was 1976, maybe the UK was just given independence to a number of regions around the world that it had control over. I'm not sure, but anyway. So the other language, aside from French and English, is Seychelles. I know I'm going to get that wrong. I apologize. I'm bad with difficult words. But Seychelles Creole. And let's see, the ethnic groups. There's the list of the ethnic groups. 93.2% are, from what I gather, are native or indigenous people. Although this island was completely uninhabited just a few hundred years ago. So literally everybody living on the chain of islands, they all came from somewhere at some point. Excuse me. So let's see here. The government, let's see, legislature, area, population, 97,000 people live there. It's the 195th most populated country, if I'm not mistaken. I believe, yeah, this is a list of countries, independent territories by population. So yeah, it's 195th. And I think that puts it dead last, I think, because I think there's only 195 official countries in the world. Pretty sure that's right. Let's see. Their GDP for 2018 was $2.9 billion. That's a lot for only 97,000 people. That's crazy. And the per capita income, if I'm understanding that right, $30,000 estimated per year. And let's see, the GDP for nominal in 2019 was $1.5 billion. Per capita was 16,000. Not sure why that's so. Well, nominal and PPP. I don't quite understand the difference between the two. I mean, I'm not very good with economics, but I'm sure that there's a reason why these numbers are so different in only the span of a year, unless something significant happened that I'm not aware of. Okay, so let's see, the time zone, the information there. Oh, the currency is the Seychelles. I hope I'm saying that right. Seychelles? Maybe it's Seychelles rupee. Let's see. They drive on the left. It's interesting to know. I mean, it would be definitely important to know if you plan on traveling there and actually renting a car. The calling code is +248, and the ISO 3166 code is SC, and the internet TLD is .sc. So if there's anybody who lives in the Seychelles Islands that has a website, it would be .com.sc for the country. So let me go ahead and scroll back up here, and I will just start with the information I've highlighted out for you. Okay, so the Republic of Seychelles is an archipelagic island country in the Indian Ocean at the eastern edge of the Somali Sea. It consists of 115 islands. Its capital and largest city, Victoria, lies 1,500 kilometers or 932 miles east of mainland Africa. Let's see, Seychelles was uninhabited prior to being encountered by Europeans in the 16th century. It faced competing French and British interest until coming under British rule, full British control, in the late 19th century. Since proclaiming independence from the UK in 1976, Seychelles has developed from a largely agricultural society to a market-based diversified economy, characterized by rapidly rising service, public sector, and tourism activities. From 1976 until 2015, nominal GDP grew nearly sevenfold, and purchasing power parity increased nearly 16-fold. Since the late 2010s, the government has taken steps to encourage foreign investment. Today, Seychelles boasts the highest nominal per capita GDP of any African nation. Despite its relative prosperity, poverty remains widespread, and the country has one of the highest levels of economic inequality and unequal wealth distribution, with the upper ruling class commanding a vast proportion of the country's wealth. That is definitely sad to know that. And, unfortunately, with many countries, it's the locals that usually, get the worst of it, especially if you're dealing with a tropical location. Okay, so the islands were said to be occasionally used by pirates until the French began to take control starting in 1756, when a stone of possession was laid on Mahé by Captain Nicolas Morphy. The islands were named after Jean Moreau de Seychelles, Louis XV, Louis the 15th, I think. Louis the 15th's Minister of Finance. And my apologies if I got the Roman numeral wrong. I think XV is 15. I'm pretty sure. Britain eventually assumed full control upon the surrender of Mauritius in 1810, formalized in 1814 at the Treaty of Paris. Independence was granted in 1976, and it became a republic at the same time. The 1979 Constitution declared a socialist one-party state which lasted until 1991. In the 1980s, there were a series of coup attempts against President Rene, some of which were supported by South Africa. In 1981, Mike Hora led a team of 43 South African mercenaries masquerading as holidaying rugby players in the 1981 Seychelles coup d'etat attempt. There was a gun battle at the airport, and most of the mercenaries later escaped in a hijacked Air India plane. Holy cow. The leader of this hijacking was German mercenary De Clodo, a former member of the Rhodesian SAS. Clodo later stood trial in South Africa, where he was acquitted, conveniently, even though I'm sure that the evidence of him, staging this was overwhelming, I'm sure, as well as in his home country, Germany, for air piracy. In In 1986, an attempted coup led by the Seychelles Minister of Defense, Ogivi, Belarus, caused caused President Rene to request assistance from India, and Operation Flowers are booming. The Indian naval vessel INSV, I'll just leave it at V because I'm not going to pronounce it right. I do apologize. I mean, I really don't want to be disrespectful and mispronounce things if I can. I'll just try to abbreviate with the beginning character. This Indian naval vessel arrived at Port Victoria to help avert the coup. The first draft of a new constitution failed to receive the requisite 60% of voters in 1992, but an amended version was approved in 1993. In January of 2013, Seychelles declared a state of emergency. The tropical cyclone Felling caused torrential rain and flooding, and landslides destroyed hundreds of houses. Crazy. Hopefully they're doing okay now. That was 7 years ago, so hopefully they're doing okay at this point. The Seychelles president, who is the head of state and head of government, is elected by popular vote for a 5-year term of office. Let's see, the Seychelles Parliament it consists of 34 members, 25 of whom are elected directly by popular vote, while the remaining 9 seats are appointed proportionally according to the percentage of votes received by each party. All members serve 5-year terms. And again, if I'm skipping anything that you want to cover or that you want to read and inform yourself on, you can always go to en.wikipedia.org/wiki/Seychelles. All right, so for foreign relations, Seychelles is a member of the African Union. And in the administrative division, Seychelles is divided into 26 administrative regions comprising of all of the inner islands. 8 of the districts make up the capital of Seychelles and are referred to as Greater Victoria. And I assume that these are the names of the main islands. Okay, geography, look at that. It's gorgeous, isn't it? It's a gorgeous place. An island nation, Seychelles is located in the Somali Sea segment of the Indian Ocean, northeast of Madagascar and about 1,600 kilometers or 994 miles east of Kenya. The Constitution of Seychelles lists 155 named islands, and a further 7 reclaimed islands have been created subsequent to the publication of the Constitution. The majority of the islands are uninhabited, with many dedicated as nature reserves. Seychelles' largest island, Mahi, is located at a distance of 835 miles, or 1,344 kilometers, from Mogadishu, Somalia's capital, over the Somali Sea. A group of 44 islands, 42 granitic and 2 coralline, occupy the shallow waters of the Seychelles Bank and are collectively referred to as the Inner Islands. They have a total area of 244 kilometers squared, accounting for 54% of the total land area of the Seychelles and 98% of the entire population. There are 42 granite islands, I know granitic, I guess is how you technically say it, islands known as the Granitic Seychelles. Let's see here. There are 29 coral islands in the Emirantes group, west of the Granitics. The climate is The climate is equitable, although quite humid, as the islands are small, classified by Köppen-Geiger system as tropical rainforest. The temperature varies little throughout the year. Temperatures on Mahe vary from 24 to 30 degrees Celsius, which is 75 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Sounds perfect. And rainfall ranges from 2,900 millimeters, which is 114 inches, annually at Victoria, to 3,600 millimeters, or 142 inches on the mountain slopes. That's a ton of rain. Precipitation is somewhat less on the other islands. During the coolest months, July and August, the average low is about 24 degrees Celsius, which is 75 degrees Fahrenheit. The southeast trade winds blow regularly from May to November, and this is the most pleasant time of year. The hot months are from December to April with higher humidity, 80%. March and April are the hottest months, but the temperature seldom exceeds 88 degrees Fahrenheit or 31 Celsius. Most of the islands lie outside the cyclone belt, so high winds are rare, which would explain the state of emergency. Let's see. Hold on. I'm going to take a drink real quick because I have to wet my whistle. Just a sec. And just like that, I'm back. So Seychelles is among the world's leading countries to protect lands for threatened species, allocating 42% of its territory for conservation. That's incredible. Seychelles today is known for success stories in protecting its flora and fauna. The rare Seychelles black parrot, the national bird of the country, is now protected. The granitic islands of Seychelles are home to about 75 endemic plant species, with a further 25 or so species in the Aldabra group. Seychelles hosts some of the largest seabird colonies in the world. And then it talks about which islands that they typically populate. There's a picture right there for, let me just bring it up. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? It's a lot of birds. Pretty crazy. And I'll go through some of these pictures and blow them up for you. I can go back and just go picture by picture once I'm done reading the content here. So my apologies if you're looking forward to that. I'll get there. All right, so French and English are the official languages, which we already covered, but it's also along with Seychellois Creole, which is primarily based upon French. The religion, I didn't highlight it because there is this image here that shows 76.2% are Roman Catholicism, Anglican is 6.1%, other Christians 6.9%, Hinduism is 2.4%, Islam 1.6%, other non-Christians 1.1%, and a very small percentage either has no religion or they didn't state it. I assume they probably did a census or something. During the plantation era, cinnamon, vanilla, and copra were the chief exports. Since independence in 1976, per capita output has expanded to roughly 7 times the old near subsistence level. Subsistence level. I apologize. I'm bad with words sometimes. Unless I know them really well, I kind of stammer with them, but I'll do my best. Growth has been led by the tourist sector, which employs about 30% of the labor force, compared to agriculture, which today employs about 3% of the labor force. Despite the growth of tourism, farming and fishing continue to employ some people, as do industries that process coconuts and vanilla. As of 2013, the main export products are processed fish, 60%, and non-fillet frozen fish, 22%. Now, I know I don't have time to look, but my first thought, because the main island, I wonder if it's mahi-mahi. That might be the fish that they're fishing for. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong, but it's just the first thing that came to mind when I saw the name of their main island. All right, so since the worldwide economic crisis of 2008, the Seychelles government has prioritized a curbing of the budget deficit, including the containment of social welfare costs and further privatization of public enterprises. The national currency of Seychelles is the Seychellois rupee. Initially tied to a basket of international currencies, it was depegged and allowed to be devalued and float freely in 2008 on the presumed hopes of attracting further foreign investment in the Seychelles economy. Energy. Although multinational oil companies have explored the waters around the islands, no oil or gas has been found, and thank God. That's probably why the water is so pristine. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I love looking at these pictures. And I'll look at plenty more. I plan on bringing up Google Images and just taking a look at some of them. A lot of them are, desktop wallpaper quality. In fact, I probably should have just put up one on my desktop. I might do that while I'm making this video. Let's see. In the culture area, for such a small country, Seychelles has a vibrant art scene that encompasses painters, sculptors, writers, and poets, artisans of many types, musicians, and dancers. The Seychelles has a diverse and upcoming group of artists who draw inspiration from the islands around them. Very cool. I'm an artist, so I can totally relate to that. Music and dance have always played a prominent role in Seychelles culture and in all types of local festivities. Rooted in African, Malagasy, and European cultures, music is played to the accompaniment of drums such as the tambour and the tam-tam, and simple string instruments. The violin and guitar are relatively recent foreign imports, which play a prominent role in today's music. So going down to cuisine, staple foods include fish, seafood, and shellfish dishes, often accompanied with rice. Fish dishes are cooked in several ways, such as steamed, grilled, wrapped in banana leaves. That's cool. Baked, salted, and smoked. Curry dishes with rice are also a significant aspect of the country's cuisine. And going down to sports, the most popular sport in the Seychelles is basketball. Pretty cool. It's a big-time sport in America, too. Seychellois society is essentially matriarchal. Mothers tend to be dominant in the household, controlling most expenditures and looking after the interests of the children. Unwed mothers are the societal norm, and the law requires fathers to support their children. Men are important for their earning ability, but their domestic role is relatively peripheral. Sorry. So going down to education, there are a total of 68 schools in Seychelles. The public school system consists of 23 creches, 25 primary schools, and 13 secondary schools. I assume those are probably the French schools, maybe? The administration launched plans to open a university in an attempt to slow down the brain drain that has occurred, of which I will click on that here in a moment because I don't know what that means either. University of Seychelles, initiated in conjunction with the University of London, opened on September 17th of 2009 in 3 locations and offers qualifications from the University of London. Brain drain, just real quick, I just want to see this. Let's see, human capital flight, migration of individuals who have received advanced training at home. Okay, you know what? That looks like a rabbit hole. I apologize. I was just curious just to see what that might have meant. And I lost my highlighting. Oh, there it is. Okay, so military. The military of Seychelles is the Seychelles People's Defense Force, which consists of a number of distinct branches: an infantry unit, and Coast Guard, Air Force, and Presidential Protection Unit. Incarceration. In 2014, Seychelles had the highest incarceration rate in the world of 799 prisoners per 100,000 population, exceeding the United States by 15%. So folks, if you think the US has more people in prison, percentage-wise, than anywhere else in the world, you'd be mistaken. I would say person to person, we probably have by far the most in prison right now, which is really sad and I think in many cases just unacceptable. Anyway, let's see, moving on here. Modern piracy. Seychelles is a key participant in the fight against Indian Ocean piracy, primarily committed by Somali pirates. Former President James Michel said that piracy costs between $7 million and $12 million a year to the international community. The pirates cost 4% of Seychelles' GDP. That's a lot. Or no. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's GDP. At first it looked like GDF, but I think that's GDP. My highlighter might have skewed that a little bit. But that's all I got here for Wikipedia. There's plenty of other information that I did not cover. I got what I thought was the gist of it. But real quick, let me just take a look at a couple of images here just to see. I'm not sure exactly what. The first Europeans to discover the Seychelles were the 4th Portuguese India Armada, led by Vasco da Gama, which I assume is what the fleet of ships looked like at the time. Let's see, Victoria, Seychelles in the 1900s. Interesting. Okay, here, we got some information down here, so I don't have to keep going back and forth, but wow, look at that. I mean, I've never been there. I really wish I can hopefully go one day, but that looks like a very small settlement. It looks very Dutch. So, although I don't think Dutch had a hand in Seychelles, but I don't know, just the way the buildings looked. Victoria, the capital of Seychelles. This, if you've ever been to St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and if you stayed in Charlotte Amalie, this picture reminds me exactly like that. I mean, it doesn't have like this stretch of land here, but just the mountainous looking islands around. It looks very familiar to St. Thomas. All right, so let's go to the next one here. That is then President James Michel in his office in Victoria in 2009. That's a map of all the various islands that make up the Seychelles. Gorgeous, beautiful. Look how beautiful that is. That blue water, it's even bluer than the sky. It's amazing. Very, very cool. That's a view of Praslin, the 2nd largest island of the Seychelles. Very cool. Obviously, like almost beyond words. It's like heaven on earth. And I mean, if you go through Google Images, like there's so many of those that you can use as your desktop wallpaper. I mean, I'm not kidding. Just gorgeous. And they've got these giant granite rocks. It's just really interesting. Rain clouds developing. I live in Tampa Bay, so I'm very familiar with those types of clouds in the summertime, at least. Very pretty. Very tropical. Just gorgeous. Crystal clear water. That's the national bird. Seychelles paradise flycatcher. Gorgeous bird. There's an Aldabra, giant tortoise. Look how cute he is. Look at his face. He's so cute. My daughter would love this turtle. Tortoise. I'm sorry, not turtle. I know the difference between a turtle and a tortoise. My apologies. There's another one back there. Look at that. So cute. They're adorable. Look at all those birds. It's like chaos. I mean, it's amazing in numbers that high. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions of birds in an area. They just fly like it's chaos, but yet they never collide. At least I don't think they ever do. It's just weird. And all that chaos, it's almost like there's an organization happening. With all these birds flying around, all willy-nilly. There's Victoria, Seychelles. That would be the capital. I'm sure that's not the entire city, but that's probably a pretty significant view of the city. And this is the demographics of Seychelles. Data of FAO year 2005. Number of inhabitants in the thousands. That was the year I moved to Florida, 2005. Let's see. Yeah, we don't have very good numbers to go off on that one, just looking at it right away, so I'll just move on. St. Francis Church in Mahe. Very cool. That's a very old-looking church. I wonder if they still use it for Sunday service. I assume they would, wouldn't they? I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It is old, but it certainly looks functional. Very gorgeous. You know, back 100 years ago and longer, way back in the day, people wouldn't just build a church in a week. I mean, back then, that was like disrespecting the Lord. I mean, back then, you had to really put years into building a church. You have to make it look like a house for God, like a house that you would expect God to want to live in, if you can kind of understand that. That's why some of these cathedrals, like when Notre Dame burned down last year. I mean, what a tragedy. I mean, that was like one of the biggest treasures of all humankind, in my opinion, that went up in flames last year. Which, I mean, I think that was kind of a dark sign of what was to come. And I thought that when that happened, I'm like, oh crap, man, this thing happened on accident. There was no arsonist. It just randomly went up in flames. I mean, what's coming next? Because that doesn't look good. And now we have coronavirus all around the planet. So yeah, not good. Gorgeous though. Very pretty. Let's see. This is a Hindu temple in Victoria. That is so awesome, man. So colorful. That's so cool. Holy crap, the sailfish. Look at that thing. That is a big fish. But that's good eating too. Man, that's so gorgeous, man. It looks more like a river than it does like the ocean. It's so cool. Colorful skirts at Seychelles Market. Very colorful, very pretty. Very Hawaiian, kind of. Also gorgeous. A beach resort at Seychelles. So that's kind of what you'd be looking forward to if you plan on visiting the Seychelles Islands. And it's very tropical. They get over 100 inches a year. I will go back to that graph and I'll show you like what the best time of year to go to if you don't enjoy rain. I absolutely love rain. My favorite time of the year for the place I live is from June all the way till the end of September, because we get tons of rain, tons of big thunderstorms. I love it. So me personally, I would probably want to go in the month where rain is heaviest. Just because, I don't know, I'm weird. Let's see, that's the airport, Seychelles International Airport. So obviously different airlines. Look at that, they have Air Seychelles. They have their own airline. That's pretty cool. I think that's the Emirates, isn't it? No, I'm probably wrong on that. Don't take my word for that. I thought that was the Emirates. Maybe it is, I don't know. Cutting open young coconuts for drinking in the Seychelles. Coconut water it's heavenly. I love coconut water. Love it. It's definitely a part of my diet. And that is the district clock tower in the center of the capital, Victoria. And I haven't seen that in person because obviously I haven't been there before, but I have seen numerous pictures of this. It's somewhat of an icon in Victoria, in the capital city. I don't know why they mounted a camera on it. That's kind of strange. Is that a camera? It looks like a camera. Well, maybe it's not. No, it's not. No, it looks like little lights or something. But still, very, very neat. Kind of, resembles Big Ben. I'm sure they probably put that up there when they were still under British control. Okay, how do I get out of this? Uh-oh. Sorry, folks. I screwed up. Oh, no. How do I get out of this? Crap. No. What is going on, man? Help me. Help me. I can't go to the next one. There's no arrow. Fine. I'll just refresh. Oh, my God. That did nothing. Are you kidding me? Oh, no. It's sabotage on my first video. Crap. Let me just do this. It's still there. Oh, my God. Come on. My gosh. Sorry. I don't mean to use negative language in any way, but it's okay. It's okay. All's not lost. We're still good, folks. We're still good. Okay. Let's go down to where it was. Actually, we were almost at the end already. Actually, that was... Oh, the second to last. I was going to say, maybe that's why that it didn't let me go through, because it was the second to last picture, or one of them. Let's see. That is the INS Teg approaching Port Victoria in Seychelles. That's not a very big... well, I mean, it looks like a military ship. Yeah, it is, because there's a giant gun there. Let's see. Oh, Africa. Picture of Africa. Another globe. The flag of... You can try to pronounce that. I'm not going to try because I don't want to disrespect what this is by messing up the words. The 5 circular arcs of different colors are symbolizing the 5 inhabited continents. Very cool. So there's inhabitants from 5 different continents, I guess, that live on Seychelles, and that's what that represents. And that's the last picture. Uh-oh. No, no, no. Don't do this to me again. Crap. Why am I doing this? This is not good. Sorry, folks. All right, let's try this again. Let's try round 3. I just want to go through the information here when it comes to the climate, and just click out of these real quick. Okay, so let's see here. If you want to visit the Seychelles Islands and you don't want to deal with rain, it clearly looks like June is going to be your month to go. July would be another good month to go. And remember, they said that the hottest months were, let's see here. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be March and April. Those are the hottest months of the year. So when you go in June, July, like your rain chances are minimal. It's not quite the best. It looks like July is your best bet when it comes to temperature. I mean, I always go by Fahrenheit because I'm American, so we always go by the weird, stupid numbers that nobody else goes by. Yeah, so 78, perfect temperature for the day. 25 degrees Celsius, can you imagine? I mean, tropical paradise, 25 degrees, gorgeous. The low is 23, so it's like almost the exact same day and night. I mean, perfect. I mean, that's the year to go if you're looking for perfect weather. I mean, I'm sure everybody else does too, but average precipitation days. So if you go in the month of July, there's only 1/3 of the month where you would expect to see rain. So the rain is still going to happen, but you'll still have a chance to have a lot of fun when you're out there. Do your zip lining and your snorkeling, scuba diving, and all that fun stuff. Water sports, sunshine. It's the best time of year for the sunshine. So good stuff. That's really good stuff. Okay, so let me go ahead and move on to the next thing that I have lined up here for you. So this is going to be the official website of the Seychelles Islands, and it's Seychelles.travel/en. And you could probably get to it without that second slash, but just in case, just throw it in there. So this is really cool. You can discover it. You can discover the geography, the climate, the history of Seychelles, the islands themselves, the society, just the way the society works there, the culture of the place, or of the islands, and the flora and fauna. So definitely really good resources of information here. You can plan your visit, so you can look up different accommodations, itinerary ideas. Again, the best time to visit, and that's a good segue. Operators and travelers essentials, and explore. Let's see here. Activities, attractions, special interests, walks and trails, restaurants, beaches, island hopping, getting around. I mean, this website's perfect. So if you want to find out, like, okay, so attractions, discover amazing local art, craftsmanship, cultural attractions, and natural wonders. Special interests, that looks like it's pertaining to like scuba diving, schools of fish, things like that. Restaurants, that would be pretty cool. I mean, I love my restaurants, so that would be a good one to look for. Beaches. Now, I know, I mean, this isn't like meant, you know, because right now it's the 4th of April of 2020. So right now we're in the middle of a pandemic. So clearly we can't go there like next week. I'm not advising you to go there next week by any means. I'm just saying once we're all done with this whole crazy situation, and once we get back to normal life again, hopefully you can use this video as a way to, you know, be convinced that you should visit this area. And if a tropical island is not your thing, in the future I'm going to post a bunch of other locations. I already have a list going, and I want to go worldwide, like just anywhere. Manaus, Brazil, I think it's going to be my next one. It's also tropical, so I might actually lean to another place, like another type of climate, but that's my plan, is to go with that one next. Mumbai, India. I'm excited about that. Mumbai looks like a fascinating place. Baghdad, Iraq. That's another place. Iraq. Reunion Island in France. So that's going to be very similar to the Seychelles Islands because it's very tropical, at least on half the island. The other half is arid, so that's going to be interesting to look up. Moscow, Russia, their Bermuda Islands, and so on and so forth. I've got some other ones that are lined up. So if you have any ideas, by the way, just drop them down in the comments below, like a place that you think that I should absolutely cover, especially if you've been there before, because if you give me your perspective, then I can actually show your comment and, you know, give you a little plug for your name and everything, and you know, put it into the video. That'd be really cool. So interactive gallery, events, I skipped over that one. So festivals, parades, whatever might be going on at whatever time of year. Before I went to St. Thomas, I actually went on their website to look up like what different parades and events they had going on. I just missed one by a month. So, but still, it's just nice to know, because if you just so happen to go down there at the same time, then you'll know what everybody's going to be doing. So interactive gallery, I will click on a couple of those here in a moment. And media center, so the travel guides, smartphone app, they actually have a smartphone app. That's really cool. So yeah, if I'm going there, that's actually a really nice resource to have. Just have an app just to click on or tap on your phone. Downloads, why not download our brochures, digital maps, logos, and more. So look at that, you can download a digital map. That'd be awesome, just to be able to check out exactly, you know, get like a detailed map of the area. That'd be really cool. Let me just see if I can find it. Inside Seychelles, beach and sea safety guide, the brochure, nature walks and trails, fish and seafood recipes. I mean, come on, guys, this has everything. Prime dive spots. Let's see, island feasts, weddings, consumer, Seychelles map, the Seychelles Islands. I'm interested in seeing that. So I'll let it download. It should only take a moment, and bring it up, see what it looks like. Oh, well, I wasn't expecting that. That's interesting. So it's just showing just the names of the islands, and looks like a couple of oh, actually, this is more informative than I thought at the first second of glancing at it. Look, these are ferries. They show ferry locations to go from one island to the next. And then they also have plane, like by air. So I assume that, you know, Mahi is the main island, and if you want to go visit a couple of other islands outside of just the main one, you have Bird Island, Dennis Island, Leech, if I'm saying that right, and then Proslin is another island you could visit, but you can visit it by air. I did go to Puerto Rico once. I tried to get a plane ride to go to it was Culebra. There's two islands that are east of Puerto Rico, but the ferry was backed up like crazy. It was like hours waiting and nothing was happening. I just wanted to go for the day just to check it out. It happened to be on my birthday too, but the ferry was backed up, so somebody convinced us to go check out the airport, see if anything was going on there, which no, nothing was going on there. Like, we had to wait 3 hours just to get a flight there. So that's probably similar to like what I had to deal with. Hopefully a much less stressful situation. I mean, I don't know, I'm just one of those people, like every year there's always something bad that happens on my birthday. It's never a perfect day, although many other people get to enjoy their birthday as a perfect day, but you know, especially when I'm like not at home, there's always something that goes wrong. But anyway, I'm sure it's very well organized here. Clearly it is. I mean, look at this. Like, it's connecting you to 1, 2, 3, 4 separate islands from the main island that you'll probably land on, because that's where their international airport is located. So very cool. Very cool. Lots of maps, lots of resources. That's freaking awesome. So let's see here. Interactive gallery. I just wanted to check the, let's see here. I don't know if I want to go for the video library. The 360 virtual tour I checked out, which is actually kind of cool because they actually have YouTube video links on here for their 360 videos. It's kind of cool. 360 photos is pretty neat too. That's something you can check out on Google, like Street View or Google Maps, I really should say. But yeah, dude, check this out. Check this out. Let me do jet skiing because the zip lining was kind of cool, but I just want to see what this one looks like. And look, clearly it's on YouTube. I muted it just because, I don't know, copyright reasons, whatever. I probably shouldn't even be doing this, but I'll only run it just for a little bit. But hey, check this out. Isn't that cool? So if you're wearing a VR headset and you get on YouTube with your VR headset, you can actually, I mean, I have to click and move, but there's the Seychelles. That's the Seychelles, man. Isn't that awesome? It's so cool. And yeah, you just you know, kind of imagine that's the view you're gonna have if you're jet skiing out there. That's so cool. And they're freaking flying. They're going fast. At least it seems like they are. Oh, I paused it. My bad. So yeah, very cool. I love these 360 cameras. They're so freaking cool. All right, anyway, so I'll go ahead and end it there. I don't want to get this video withdrawn from YouTube because somebody had a copyright claim. So yeah, it's a good resource. A lot of stuff on here. That's the Seychelles official website. Very neat, very nice, very informative. I mean, I could easily spend probably 3-4 hours just covering that website alone for sure. All right, let me go ahead and let's jump here to Google Images. So here's some of these images I was talking about. The ones that, I mean, that'd be perfect for a wallpaper for your desktop. Awesome. I mean, I've got that, you know, painting or whatever, but just some gorgeous pictures. And that's all granite rock. That's, I mean, to me, that's fascinating too. Just if you know geology, you know, granite, it's one of the oldest forms of rock that covers a vast area on the Earth's crust. At least I think so. Maybe I'm just dumb and I didn't even know that, but yeah, I think granite, it's like on the scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 7, and it's also like 2 billion years old. So the island is made of very, very old bedrock. So, and you could just see, look at that. And that is granite, by the way. That's granite eroded by water, I assume. I assume that's been eroded by the water. I mean, that must have taken millions of years for that to happen. I think. I don't know. Let's see here. Seychelles drone, that'd be cool to see on YouTube. But see, at first I wanted to bring up YouTube and just show a couple of images, like drone style footage of what the Seychelles Islands looked like from a YouTube video perspective. But I don't want to go there because I don't want somebody to hit me with a copyright claim and I have to take the video down and then nobody's going to get to see it. So unfortunately, and unless somebody tells me otherwise, like, yeah, you could do that as long as you give them credit or whatever. I mean, if I hear that, then I might, but at least for this video, unfortunately, I won't be able to. But check that out. Fish. How cool is that? You can even see the shadow of the boat underneath. Crystal clear. I mean, the image isn't perfect, but it's just very cool. Look at that. It's awesome. Beautiful. Oh man, that is nuts. That is amazing. How cool. Just crazy looking. That's so bizarre to see. Just very neat. And then you get all of these. I'm sure these are, well, it could be a neighborhood, I guess. I mean, they're, you know, a bunch of rich people with their boats and stuff, but, or it might be like a vacation rental or something like that. But I mean, it almost looks like Google, like Google satellite, just the way the ocean looks. It's hard to believe that it's just that perfect looking. It's just gorgeous. Yeah, just very nice. Very nice. Definitely a place I'd like to go to. If I remember correctly, I don't think it's on the main island, but I believe that the British royals actually have a property at the Seychelles. Because when, what's his name? I don't know if it's Prince Harry or Wiljam, I think that's the other one, right? I don't know. I'm not good with royalty, but when they got married, they honeymooned in the Seychelles Islands. They were there for like a freaking month. But I don't blame them. I would too. I don't think I'd ever leave. Just beautiful. It's gorgeous. I mean, it's hard to believe that thing is just floating in the water. It's crazy how clear it is. It's just amazing. So yeah, you can go on Google Images and you could just look at all these. And obviously there's not a shortage of amazing photos that you can take a look at. I mean, yeah, I'm envious. I'm envious a little bit of that. That's amazing. Very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, I've seen those rock formations and other photos. Maybe not the exact ones, but yeah, very cool. Anyway, I will conclude that with Google Images. I don't want to get too lost in this. It'd be very easy for me to do so. Oh man, that is so cool. Check that out. Palm fronds. Oh, dude. Coconut trees. Man. Sunset. Oh my god. Beach towels. I don't know if that's a beach towel, but looks like it could be one. Wall tapestry. There you go. Wall tapestry. Tapestries. There's Air Seychelles right there. And so on and so on and so on and so on. So plenty of stuff. Sea turtle, he's so cute, sea turtle. We get our sea turtle season here on the west coast of Florida is it's around September. That's when they or August, I think August, September. Or no, I think they hatch in September. Actually, no, I'm mistaken. I think it's I could be wrong because I'm not too informative on this, but I think it might be June where the sea turtles come up and they lay their eggs. So for throughout the summer, people have sectioned off like where they know that sea turtle eggs are located, and if you get caught messing with it, I mean, you're facing jail time. Like it's a huge fine. But yeah, but I think it's September during the full moon of September they hatch and they run to the ocean. It's pretty amazing. Like it's a big deal here. There's a lot of people that go out to try to watch it, but you know you have to keep your distance and not spook them. But good grief, man, are you serious? That's like overkill. Come on. Really? They literally chiseled they chiseled their house out of the rock, it looks like. Nuts, man. That's crazy. All right, I'm done with this. I could just keep going and going and going. I got other things to get to here with the Seychelles Islands. Okay, so the next thing. So what if you want to go there? How much is it going to cost? Now, in light of what's going on right now with coronavirus, I think we all know that the flight industry right now is heavily hit really hard. So I'm going to run the numbers, but just know that in like, you know, this time 2 months ago, the numbers will probably be very different, you know, as opposed to what we're dealing with right now. And honestly, there's a chance I'm going to use Expedia because that's what I've always used. I'm not plugging them. I'm not recommending this at all. This is just the site that I've used like ever since like 2003 or something, whenever they came up. So I mean, I'm not plugging them or anything. Like, don't use them if you don't want to. I mean, I could care less, but anyway, yeah, now that you got my email, please don't send me emails. I guess you could if you wanted. I'm just gonna ignore them. But anyway, let's see here. So travel update. We know that you are concerned about a travel plan. Yeah, that's a Wikipedia thing. So anyway, so I'm gonna start here with my location in Tampa. It'll probably not go direct from Tampa, but it'll be a place to start. So Tampa. And by the way, if I did cut that out, if you notice the video just shift all of a sudden, I don't think I'm gonna do it. But if I did, it's because my email was displayed when I went to this article, and I just don't want a flood of emails in case this video gets a lot of attention. So, but what I'm doing right now, I'm just plugging in Tampa. That's the airport that I would fly out of, and I'm just gonna type in Seychelles because I don't know the code for the Seychelles International Airport. So let's see, departing. I mean, I don't know. I'm not good with this. What's a good time? Let's do April 11th. April 11th. I mean, you're not going to be there for a few days. Like, you'll be there for a week at least. I mean, I would be there for at least 2 weeks, but you know, I'll do 2 adults. Let's see where we go. Let's get crazy here. All right, economy and coach. No. Hold on. How do I get rid of the hotel? I just want the flight. 2 adults, 1 room. What does that mean? I don't want a room. I just want to see what the plane... Or whatever. It's going to be separate anyway. But let's just see what comes up. Maybe nothing. Maybe there is no... Yeah, see, here we go. Please be aware of any coronavirus travel advisories. Yada, yada. We were unable to find any flights for your package. Yeah, see, I think I'm going to run into this. I was hoping I'd be able to find some tickets because I looked up flights from like Tampa to LA and then flights from Tampa to New York City and things like that. And I was able to find them and they were crazy cheap. It was like, if you're open to your schedule in the next month, if you live in the Tampa Bay area, you can actually fly out to Los Angeles for like $52. It's insanely cheap. But folks, I don't think I'm going to have any luck doing this. I mean, I would really like to. So let me go into July because I know that July was that month where the weather was perfect there. So maybe I might get lucky and hit something here. I'm going to go for Friday. I don't know. I'm still thinking we're not going to have much luck here. But let's see if I can get something going here. It's taking a minute. I don't know. I think it might be compiling some stuff. Yeah, here we go. Oh, man. Hotels. Wow. That's a lot of money for a hotel. Where's the tickets? I want the flights. Where's the flights? Choose your hotel, choose your room, choose your departure flight. Man, come on. Why don't you just start with... They used to start with the flights. I don't want... I'm sorry. Let me just go back. It says travelers, one adult, one room. Now it's one adult. Okay. But what if I don't want a room? Oh, I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Here we go. Just flights. They started off with a bundle and save. My apologies. I'm just not paying attention. I'll get this. This is the first video. I'm rusty. It's the first video. Now I get it. I got it now. Okay. All right. Let's see what happens. It's one adult. I'm not going to do two. I'm just going to do for one person. Because, you know, if it's with two people, it's just going to be the same amount that you're going to see here anyway. Just double it. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Okay. So Emirates, multiple airlines. That's going to be very common. I cannot believe that. I didn't even know the Emirates landed in Tampa. Apparently they do. Leave in Tampa and they land in probably Boston. I don't know what DXB is. I'm sure it's overseas. Then SEZ is probably Seychelles. Yeah, it's got to be Seychelles, obviously, because that's the end destination. But very good flight, 7.6 out of 10. Excellent flight. Okay, whatever. That's just like probably user review based. But yeah, here's this pretty much the numbers that you're looking at. 35 hours, 55 minutes. If you go this way, 2 stops, $1,500 round trip. Not bad right now. Again, this is during a climate of a pandemic, so I think realistically these numbers are probably, I don't know if they're doubled. I've never been there before, so I'm honestly not sure if the numbers would be much different than they are right now. I would assume that they would be, but for this one to use multiple airlines, which clearly all of them are except for Emirates, like there might be a couple. Yeah, Qatar Airways lands in Tampa. That's crazy. I didn't know that. Anyway, so this one's only 23 hours, 16 minutes, has 2 stops, $1,512. I would definitely do that because you're not going to be in the air for almost 40 hours. Instead, you're just going to, well, not in the air, but, you know, your travel to get there. But yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at here. And obviously, it gets very expensive very quickly. British Airways, I knew they landed here. South African Airways, I didn't know they flew in here, but, you know, you learn something new every day. Check this out. $11,135 for one ticket. Qantas. Why would Qantas? Whatever. I guess Qantas. Oh, it's operated by the Emirates. Okay, so it's probably the Emirates. I mean, that must be like I don't know, first class or something. But anyway, that I got what I was trying to find. So I'm glad that I went for July. So that's what we're looking at with that for flights. You know, a couple grand, like $1,500 a ticket. Totally reasonable, I think, going from the United States all the way over there to the other side of Africa. And let's go ahead and move on to Google Maps. I don't need to do that because I already did that. So now I'm going to plug in Google Earth. Hold on. All right. And now, in this part, this is the final part of the video, I'm actually going to explore. I'm going to actually see what the place looks like. All right, launch Earth. They have some good 3D views. I hope that my computer can handle this. It was a little glitchy earlier today, but it's nighttime. Hopefully not so many people are on the internet in my local area right now. It's almost 10 o'clock, so hopefully it's fairly seamless. I was also doing some other things too at the same time. I was listening to a YouTube video. So hopefully this will go off without a hitch and it won't be too glitchy because I think my computer is good enough to handle this, but we'll see. So here we are, and this should be Seychelles, right? Yeah, it is. Let me go ahead and zoom out here. Yeah, that's definitely Seychelles because it's on this like really huge plateau. Yep, and there's Africa, obviously, Ethiopia, Somalia. All right, so let's go ahead and zoom into the Seychelles Islands and have a look. So this is Mahi. This is the main island. Gorgeous, beautiful, clearly. We already saw that. You remember that? The pictures we were looking at, the one that I was like, well, maybe they're villas, maybe they're vacation rentals, or maybe just rich people live there. Got their little boat parking lot over there. And there is the Victoria Seychelles Airport. Actually, I'm not centered here. Let me center myself. There we go. Now we're true north. So that way is true north. Due north, whatever. So that's pretty cool. Here, let me go 3D here. Let's get crazy. Yeah, check that out. So, and there we go. That's the proper way. So what's cool about Google Earth is that you can actually get like a real good 3D especially with the mountains. It's pretty cool. So let's see here. I can zoom in. Actually, I'll just zoom in using my mouse. So it's really neat. I mean, the houses still look flat. I mean, it kind of looks weird from that perspective, but at least you get a good perspective of the land. And then let me see if I can do this. Sorry, I'm just trying to see how I can spin it. Click to reset view, double click to swap. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. Sweet. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Nice. I'm new to Google Earth. Well, I mean, I've used it before, but they've done a lot since I've last used it. It was first brought online around 2001, and I remember using it back then, and it was nothing like it is now. I mean, look at that, 3D. It's so freaking cool. So that's Victoria. That's the main city. That's obviously the commercial district down there. I'm sure that's probably the oil tanks and stuff like that. Petroleum, petrol, or gas, or whatever you want to call it. Let's see here. Oh, dual island. So, yeah, I don't really have any plans or anything. I mean, I could easily do this for hours just to explore Seychelles alone. I mean, without any doubt. I just love doing this. I love just exploring like this. I mean, I kind of want to, I don't want to zoom in too much where I don't have to. Okay, so yes, here, let's check this out. Let's check out this road. Check that out. Being on this road. Could you imagine the view crossing that bridge? Just the green colors. It's my favorite color, green. And obviously it's been kind of sectioned off. I mean, clearly the pictures are different from this one to that one. That one was probably taken more recently because it's just a little more detailed, I think. As opposed to these, which it looks a little more, grainy. But yeah, I mean, check that out. That is awesome. Gorgeous. A lot of people live here, like without a doubt. I mean, it's happening. Oh, see, look, that the road gets a lot smaller, it appears, once it bypasses the airport. So clearly a lot of people are they're going to Victoria from the airport. So there's this little island here. That's pretty cool. And I'm sure most of this is residential. I'm pretty sure it is, but just thought it'd be cool just to kind of check out the coast. I won't go all the way around because I know that's going to be time consuming, but I just thought I'd just get a nice little view here. See, I mean, yeah, here we go. That kind of works too. And then there's the interior. Get a good view of that, exploring this. Again, Google Earth, just earth.google.com. If you got a quick computer, I mean, if your computer can handle it. If not, it's going to be really glitchy, but I think, in the year 2020, I think everybody has a computer that's pretty capable of handling this. But Police Bay, whoa, that sounds ominous. But yeah, oh, check that out. Look at that. It's like a brackish water or something. Actually, it looks like fresh water. It's just like a pool of fresh water. And maybe during the high tide, maybe the ocean reaches that height and it kind of mixes in and becomes brackish, which brackish, by the way, is a mixture of salt water and fresh water. I live in Seminole, Florida, so I live close to Lake Seminole, and there's an area of Lake Seminole south of what we know as Park Boulevard, where the water is brackish. It's a mixture of fresh water and salt water. North of Park Boulevard, it is pure fresh water, but then on the other side of the road, it becomes mixed in with the salt water. So I am familiar with brackish water because I live near it. So anyway, yeah, so it's clearly very rural over here. Going back to Wikipedia, there is some farming exports that they have, some produce that they grow here. So I assume that it's probably in regions like this, maybe I'm just full of hot air, and this might just be part of their 40% conservation area that nobody's allowed to build on. So anyway, this is the main island. It's very pretty, very, very pretty indeed. This is on the other side from the capital. So I mean, if you look for if you want seclusion in your vacation, there's a couple more bodies of water there. That's pretty neat. I'm sure that's not brackish. That's probably freshwater. I would assume you probably would go to one of these places. These could be vacation villas, or maybe people do live there, but they all look the same, so it just tells me that they're probably places you can rent out. Gorgeous bay. That's amazing. What is that, a tennis court? What is a tennis court doing there? That's weird. I mean, I see the properties around here. That's just kind of weird. It's just like a standalone thing. It's probably got a crazy, amazing view. Let me see if I can get any. Yeah, see, here's some over here. These are it's not street. Well, it is street view, but I mean, I don't think that the Google Street View car like navigated around this island. But these are street view type images. Now, what irritates me about Google Earth is that, unlike Google Maps, where if I was using Google Maps, I could just highlight here and it'll show me a thumbnail. I can't do that with Google Earth, so it's not actually showing me. But I'll take a gamble here. I'll click on one of them. See what this one brings up. So it's going to zoom us in, and it will take us to the image. Boom. Beautiful. Look at that. Oh man, that's a big house. Whatever that is. Look at that. That is pretty. Very nice. Very, very nice. Is that water? Yeah, that looks like water. Yeah, that's water. It's interesting. Maybe trapped seawater from high tide, but yeah, nice. Very, very nice. All right, now the big question is, how do I get out? I think I do that. It takes me back to where I was. Yeah, here we go. It took me back to 2D. That's okay. All right, so let me just zoom out. I'm going to zoom out a little bit more here, and then just kind of circle around. I know I said I wasn't going to go all the way around, but you know, why not? But yeah, so now you get like a whole bird's eye view of the island from this view. And again, this isn't north. This is just a different perspective. But more Seychelles National Park, protected land, I imagine, because it is a national park. Very cool. Look at that. You can even see the ripples of the water. I mean, that's how clear that imagery was when they took it. And then when you zoom out even more, see, we got other islands to check out. Of course, they have the clouds in the imagery, but that's okay. Just a very, very cool place. Oh, crap. I'm empty. I have to refill my cup, so give me just one quick second. All right, I'm back. And I was actually just thinking that back when I joined Facebook, and if anybody who's listening to this is old enough to remember, back in the early days of the internet, nobody really trusted the internet. So if you set up an email account, I mean, at least in my world, the people I knew, they did not set up an email account with their real name. They would use like a fake name because nobody trusted the internet. You know, nobody wanted to share their honest personal information online. And I was still kind of in that reality when Facebook first came out. And I know, well, they first came out in 2004. I didn't join up with Facebook till like 2009. But at first I put in the real place where I was born, and then I thought I would make it a little more fun on a personal level. And if you go to my Facebook page, it says that I was born in the Seychelles Islands. I mean, that's how long I've been wanting to visit this place. Like, really. I mean, it's a gorgeous place. I mean, look at that. That's really cool. They drudged that out, made it deeper, just so some of the bigger vessels can dock. That might be one of the docking locations for those ferries that we looked at on the map a little earlier. So clearly a really small island. I'm sure most of this, if not all of it, cannot be constructed on because of the 40% thing. Like 40% of the nation is protected land for wildlife. So, but still, I mean, so cool. Look at this. Like, how in the world would you end up? How could you get there? Because you know that this has got to be thick jungle here. I mean, it's got to be, right? Here, let me see if we got a picture here. I mean, I see that. Oh, yeah, there is one. Check this out. Let's see if we can get a good view of this. I mean, the mountains have to be tall around it, right? It's got to be. But, oh, look at that. Coconuts strewn around on the ground. How cool, man. That is so cool. It's like Castaway. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, you can't even see the mountain because the trees. Look how thick that jungle is back there. It just like instantly goes to night. Wow, that is freaking cool. I don't know why that fascinates me, but it does. Just thinking about going through there and exploring like the thick jungle. I know there's got to be a lot of I don't know, poisonous snakes and stuff like that. Hey, check this out. That must be the main island. Mahi. That's off in the distance. That's very neat. Very cool to see. All right, so let me go ahead and jump out of here. Let's see if I can remember. Go back. It's going to take me back to 2D. Now I will immediately put it back to 3D. It's going to screw up my point of view here. Here we go. I got this. I got this. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, very nice. Very, very cool place. Just in case, I'll leave it on. I mean, surely there's got to be some pictures of this. I mean, no, I guess there's not. That's surprising. I thought somebody would have a picture of that. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to zoom out of this. I know that's just one location. I don't want to spend too much time in one place. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. I mean, look, like every island has a significant amount of beach. That's so cool. This one has definitely been cleared. Clearly there's, you know, some inhabitants here. I mean, if you want to, I mean, you're talking about like one of these seclusion island vacations where like you want to get away from everything, the hustle and bustle, like no internet, no phone, no nothing. This looks like the kind of place that's made for you. So why is there so many in one location? Man, I really wish, no, I'm not going to go there. It's going to take too long to zoom into that, but I really wish that Google Earth would let me just highlight and just click on it, but it doesn't. And I'm kind of hesitant to do that because I don't know. Because like, which one am I going to click on? Oh, see, now there's less. Okay, here, I'll just click on that one. Let's see. It's the closest one to the beach. I just want to see like what the view might look like from here. And not earth-shattering. Look how small that grass is. That's crazy. Talk about fresh cut grass. That's amazing. It's pretty. There's places like when I visited Mexico in 2003. There were some spots that reminded me of that. Like just nice. Like it almost looked like a golf course. But yeah, pretty. Very pretty. All right, let me go back. See, that's the thing with the images. When I click on the images, I just, you know, it's kind of the roll of the dice. Whereas with Google Maps, you can at least bring up a thumbnail and decide, well, yeah, I think I should click on that. Or no, I'm not going to. But anyway, that's this island, which if I zoom out enough, Le du Nord Island. It's got a little cloud on top of it. It's kind of funny. I'm sure the cloud was created from this island through evaporation. And yeah, amazing. Very amazing. I'm upside down right now. Let me readjust my compass here. All right, so that way's north. Okay. So yeah, I mean, look at all these islands. There's so many of them. There's another one down here. I'm not going to explore extensively here. Dennis Island. It's got like a little runway, and that's about it. Like a couple of houses, maybe. Maybe it's a military type thing that they got going on there. I don't know. I mean, is there like a deep area where, no, there isn't. So I don't know. But it's like, I don't know, like maybe a hiker's paradise, I would assume. But all right, so this one that's much smaller. Bird Island, which also has a runway or an airstrip. I think that's more appropriate, an airstrip. It's very, very cool. Tons of beach. Look at all that sand. So much sand. Only a couple of pictures here. I'm going to refrain from doing that for the... Well, all right, I'll do one. Okay, I'll do one. Here, actually, let me go with the middle one here. Let's see what we bring up with this one. Whoosh! Down on the ground. Oh, look at that. That is so pretty. Very pretty. Clearly, a lot of people are out there because there's footprints everywhere. But yeah, very cool. You can tell where the high tide mark is because of the debris that washed up. It's not too significant looking. I mean, it's definitely secluded. Oh, look at all the birds. Must be one of those bird islands. One of the bird sanctuary islands. That's cool. Not a place you would want to open up a bag of Doritos. Not anywhere close if you're on one of those sanctuaries. Those seagulls will go nuts. All right. So let me hit 3D again. Let's try to stay in that format. Okay, so now we're zoomed all the way out. Let's see here. This is probably part of the Seychelles. I assume this one is as well. Oh, that's cool. You can see the stars. It's neat. Let's zoom in here. That's catching my eye. St. Joseph. Look at that, man. That's a complicated looking island. It's like right at sea level. I'm sure you could probably walk and like 2 feet or less deep water, like all the way around this area. That's so cool. Very, very cool. Very shallow waters. That's my kind of place. Like, I love swimming in shallow water, you know, like 3 feet deep. That's perfect. Just to come out here, like, I mean, just to imagine swimming through all of this. I mean, that would just be, that would be a paradise to do that. It's very cool. And there's even trees. I'm sure they're all yeah, you could tell by the palm trees. They're all palm trees. That's pretty cool. Very, very neat. Very cool. Look how complicated, or not complex. It's a very complex looking island. It's very cool. And look, you know, technically that's an island, that's an island, that's an island. Yeah, that little tiny thing, that's an island. That's one. St. Joseph. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to burp into the microphone. I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. Please forgive me. I'll say excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, so pretty much done, to be honest with you. I don't want to be. Oh, here we go. Seychelles Outer Islands. I'm glad I'm not done yet. Because look at this. That is Madagascar, if I'm not mistaken. It is Madagascar. So the Seychelles Islands gets really close to Madagascar. Look at that. It's a lot closer than I thought it was. So let's take a look at this. This is a part of the Seychelles as well. Very, very fascinating. I've never seen this before. So probably uninhabited. I'm sure it is. I mean, these islands are so small. Even going out into the Pacific Ocean. I mean, these islands get so small and so remote. Hang on, how did I do that? Oh, check that out, guys. Man, that's amazing. Check that out. I didn't know I could do that. How cool is that? Check that out. What? I don't want to do that. That's like way too... kind of want to bring it back to where it was. But that is really cool. I mean, it's a... I mean, see, look. So there's an island, there's an island, there's an island. So when they talk about it having, what was it, 114 islands? So now that kind of makes sense that... Well, at first you were probably like, wow, that's so many islands. That's a lot of islands. But the reality is that most of them are so tiny that you could probably walk from one side to the other and not spend 5 minutes. But that's another location here. Alright, so let me zoom out of this location. Let's check out this one. This one looks fairly sizable. At least by the imagery it does. A lot of clouds. It's hard to tell where the land starts and the water ends. Isn't it? Maybe I'm just... Yeah, see, that's all underwater. Or is it? Looks like it's underwater, doesn't it? Because look, there's an island. So this all must be underwater. This must be all reefs, all coral reefs or something. Oh man, that's crazy looking. Yeah, see, there's an island, Providence Island. Probably filled with palm trees, coconut trees. It's very interesting looking. All right, here, let me try this. Let me see if I can do this. See if I can get the angle right. This might look a little clearer here. Oh man, that is wicked looking. Look at that. That is weird. Yeah, that is water. That's interesting. I mean, it's so fascinating. The places around the world that you can go to. Look at that. That's all water. And look how shallow it is. I mean, it looks so shallow. It just looks like it's like knee deep. You could just walk through all this. I mean, it's probably not. I mean, I'm sure that there's some depth to it, but I'm going to try to get us over here to the next island. Come on. Ugh. There we go. All right, let me move it over a little bit. That might help. Sorry, folks. I'm doing my best. Here we go. Here's the next island. That's just so weird. I mean, that doesn't even look like there's even any water there. It just looks like it's all connected. Which it is all connected, but you know what I mean. Is that that's not Madagascar there, is it? Maybe it is. I don't know if you can see Madagascar from here. I would doubt it. Yeah, I doubt you could. Nah, there's no way. But anyway, is that the moon? I don't know. So it's pretty much all I have. I think I'm going to do that from now on. That I'm going to use this feature. I'm sure I'll get better with this in the coming videos. I'm sure that I won't be so rusty and so, you know, ridiculous with Google Earth. But at least my computer's handling it. I'm glad for that at least. I mean, it's zooming in pretty quickly. It's doing its thing. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's not too crazy pixelated or anything. Like earlier, it was glitching a lot, so I'm glad it's not doing that at least. Is that the airstrip? Yeah, it looks like an airstrip there, or airport. So yeah, interesting stuff, folks. Oh, check that out. You can probably walk without getting your shirt wet from that island to the next. At least it looks like that. Very neat. But most of these islands, especially the ones that look uninhabited, I'm sure that they're in that 40% of nature preserve status or what have you. Although look, no, this one, they've got houses here, and it almost looks like they're growing. I mean, it looks like coconut trees, really, doesn't it? It's like coconut trees. So they might actually be exporting, I don't know, coconuts maybe? I don't know. So anyway, I really do hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna love doing this because I've got so many exciting places lined up. This one is definitely like a big time Google Earth type of video to do because there's so many of these islands to explore. So it's just a chance for me at least to kind of get familiar with the tools that I'm gonna need for future videos. But Seychelles Islands, I mean, man, what a place to visit. Heaven on earth, it looks like. I mean, I know, I'm sure, like being a resident of the islands or being a native to the islands, maybe it's not, you know, paradise on earth from your perspective, but it looks like a gorgeous place. And I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you are super lucky to be living there. I mean, like, for real. I certainly wouldn't mind being just, I don't know, like a... I don't need like a cashier in a gift shop or something. I don't know, like just to be like a street vendor or something like that. And, you know, I'm sure that, you know, it would be slim pickings. You know, I'm kind of, you know, first world ignorant when it comes to that. But just to think that you could see and experience the Seychelles Islands every day for a lifetime. I mean, wow, it would just be so cool. But there, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of places like that. A lot of destinations, a lot of locations that are just absolutely gorgeous. This world has so many amazing places to visit, but the Seychelles, I've seen some pretty good stuff on YouTube, but this might be a location that either you've never heard of or now you have heard of it, and maybe you might consider visiting one day. And if you do, take tons of pictures and maybe drop a link in the comments below so I can have a look at the Seychelles from your perspective. Sorry, I know, I can't get enough of this. I just keep messing around. Church Island, or no, that's just, that can't be a church. No, there's not a church there. No, there's not. Maybe it's just Church Island. No, Platt. Wait a minute, is this entire island just an airstrip? That's what it looks like. The whole thing is just an airstrip. Oh, my apologies. Yeah, because look at that. Those are waves. That's all coral. Weird. I mean, Seychelles has some crazy stuff. Look at that. There's like holes in the coral. Incredible. That's so cool. Just amazing. I mean, yeah, that's like the waves breaking right there. Maybe it's low tide. I don't know. But anyway, I do hope you enjoyed the video. I will come back with another video, hopefully tomorrow. And I plan on doing Manaus, Brazil, but I could change that. I think just by saying that, I think I'm going to obligate myself to cover that one next. That's in the middle of the Amazon rainforest. It's going to be really amazing. I will sharpen up, you know, the way I handle these videos in the future. Hopefully I did a satisfactory job for this one. Let me just check real quick here. I did an hour and 18 minutes. So, I mean, it is kind of time consuming, I'm sure. A pretty significant amount of that was spent playing around with Google Earth, but I'm going to do that probably for most of the videos. Hopefully I'll get better with the controls and be able to navigate a little bit better. I'm very rusty with this. It's way different than it was the last time I used it, but But again, like the video, you can leave a comment, you can even subscribe if you want to, and if not, I'm totally fine with that too. But I hope you enjoyed this video at least. Definitely give some attention to Seychelles, maybe pull up a documentary on YouTube. I'm sure they'll tell it way better than I can, but hopefully I at least got some attention to the Seychelles for the folks that are there. Yeah, definitely an envious place. I really wish that I could go there. Maybe one day though, maybe one day in the future. But until next time, thank you so much for watching and be very careful out there. Thank you so much.